Okay, so let's be honest here. There is a bit of an unspoken truth when it comes to people and their motorcycles. Now, what I'm talking about is if you jump on the classifieds and look at some of the used bikes that are for sale, you'll find bikes that are 10, 15, 20 years old, and yet they'll only have 3,000 kilometers or 5,000 kilometers. So it makes you wonder, what is actually happening? So you've bought the dream, you've bought the vision, you had an idea exactly what you're going to do with the bike. You even convinced your missus that it was a good idea. But then the reality sets in. So your bike will just sit there. First a couple of weeks, then a couple of months. Before you know it, it's been sitting there for ages. And that motorcycle that you thought was going to take you on all these fantastic adventures has become something that's just sitting in the corner of your garage, collecting dust. And you come out into your garage, you might even see it, and you might even have a little bit of guilt. And you think, I should probably take that out. But you don't. So why is that? Why is the actual act of riding so much harder than just the idea in your head? So I think one of the most difficult things for returning riders to overcome is not just clutch control, learning how to ride again, but it's the act of actually getting on your bike and finding a purpose and a place to take it to. So if you're staring at your motorcycle in your garage collecting dust and wondering why you're not riding it as much as you originally intended, stick around, because in this video, I want to break down some of those mental barriers and challenges that keep us from riding our motorbikes as much as we originally intended. So if this is your first time here, my name is Rob and this channel is Throttle Reborn, where I talk about my journey returning to motorcycling after a 30-year break. So my purpose for riding today is to take myself out to lunch. So I'm riding to a place called Mrs. Brown's Diner, which is pretty cool. I think it's about 1 hour's ride from here. It's up north towards the Sunshine Coast. I've never been there on the bike, but we're going to do it today. Got really good weather. I think it's like 29 degrees Celsius here. Let's get going. Okay, just let me clarify really quickly who I'm talking about specifically. I'm not talking about people who are commuting because they have to. I'm really talking to those riders who, like me, have a motorcycle for recreation and we ride that motorcycle because we want to, not because we have to. And in that case, it makes it quite a lot harder. All right, I've just stopped just off the main highway. I'm starving, so I took the quickest way, which was the motorway. I've just stopped here. I wanted to take a couple of photos of the bike. From here, we should have some roads worth taking video of. I'm not sure how far we're going to go. I think we've got about 15 kilometers maybe. Most of it was on the actual highway. No one coming there, which is good. No one coming. Look over the shoulder. Let's go. Motorway is just boring. Don't buy a motorcycle to ride on a motorway. That's boring. Okay, so we've got 12 kilometers to go. Let's go. So we just got off the motorway. Now, I didn't record the highway because, to be honest, the highway riding is pretty boring. It is fast, and that's what I needed because I was quite hungry and it was going to take an hour to get there from home. So I really just took the straight way. It's fast. It's the straightest way to get there, so that's the way I chose to go. But this brings up the first two barriers we hit. I call it the hard start and where do I go? See, the hardest part of riding isn't the clutch control, it's the static friction in your garage. It's the mental game. You look at your gear, your boots, your jacket, the helmet, you think, I've got to put all that on. It's a lot of effort just to go for a spin. And of course, if you don't have a destination in mind, within 5 seconds of walking into your garage, you're going to talk yourself out of it. You're going to say, maybe I'll just do it next week. And that's why you kind of need a mission. It doesn't have to be an epic cross-country tour. For me, on this ride, it was just a mission to Mrs. Brown's Diner, and that's it. So if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know where to ride, stop looking for the perfect road and start looking for a decent lunch. Pick a spot on the map, say around 45 minutes away. If the food is rubbish, who cares? You got the ride in, that's the main purpose. But try to pick somewhere that has got a decent lunch because that'll make it all a bit more worth it. Now this is going to shift your mindset from, I'm just wasting my time riding in circles, to I'm actually completing something worthwhile. And here we are, we've made it to Mrs. Brown's Diner. Mission accomplished. It really wasn't that hard. And once I was on the bike, I actually really enjoyed it. So from here, I grabbed the burger, I'll get myself a lemon lime bitters. I have to admit, that cold lemon lime and bitters on the hot day, it sorts you right out. And this is what I'm basically building right now. got another wall there, but yeah, there's people sitting right next to it. I don't really feel like interrupting their lunch since they're paying customers here. I've arrived here for lunch. You can see I've got my burger here. This is just a classic burger, and this place is called Mrs. Brown's Diner. So it was about a bit over an hour to get here, an hour and 10 maybe. It's still actually pretty warm. It's around, what are we saying? It says around 27 degrees Celsius right now. It was only about 10 or 12 kilometers coming from the main highway to here. So I think on the way back, I'll take a more scenic route. All right. Time to go home. The time we're going to take the longer way home, about 2 hours. Get a bit of a ride in. So now I've had my lunch and I'm on the way home, and I've mapped out a scenic route for the return leg. It's going to take about 2 hours, but the roads are amazing. It's going to be epic. It's so awesome. Look at those views. So getting out on any ride, there is a third and fourth barrier. One is the weather, and two is the car trap. So it was 29 degrees Celsius on this ride, and that's properly hot. And, you know, I won't lie, it's pretty tempting to just look at your car and say, I could just take the car, it has climate control, you got your cup holders, you know, you don't have to put on all this gear. It's just easy, but taking the car is always going to be easier, but it isn't better. This is the trap that you can easily fall into. So if you want to wait for the perfect day, we say, oh, it's a bit too hot, or it looks like it's rain, or it's a bit windy. You will ride your bike very few times a year. That's it. We're all going to be exposed on the motorcycle to the world. We're not watching it through a windscreen like a TV show. And we all know if you've been on a bike, it's not the same as being in your car. Yeah, you might be sweating a bit. Yeah, you might be more comfortable in your truck, but you wouldn't be smiling and you wouldn't be transporting yourself on your bike. You're actually living. Now let's talk about the fifth barrier. And I know I've heard this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people think like this, especially when it comes to a very nice looking bike. They're just afraid to put miles on them. You think if I ride it too much, I'm devaluing it, I'm killing its resale value. But in my opinion, not riding your bike to keep the mileage low is like not sleeping with your supermodel girlfriend to keep her fresh for the next guy. It makes no sense. So your motorcycle is your memory machine. It's not an investment portfolio. If you sell it in 10 years with low clicks, yeah, maybe you get extra grand or two, but you missed out on the 10 years of experiences. You've missed out on the burgers, the sunsets, and the clear head. Don't save it for the next bloke. Use it up, wear it out, that's what it's for. So this leads me to the final excuse, I've got no one to ride with. So I know a lot of people struggle with this. All my mates sold their bikes, or I don't know anyone else to ride with, so you just stay home. And I don't actually know anyone myself, so this is something I personally struggle with, and it's one of the reasons why I joined HOG. That gives me an opportunity to meet other like-minded riders. So look, riding with mates is always going to be great, but riding solo, that's also therapy. You don't have to wait for anyone. You don't have to wait for anyone at the servo, you don't have to agree on any speed, and you don't have to worry if they can handle the corners and keep up with you. So if you're desperate for company, you can go and join a group. If you're on a Harley Davidson, you can join HOG and join a local HOG chapter. Otherwise, find a local riding group, but don't let being solo stop you. So whatever the reasons are, whatever that's causing you not to ride your bike, don't let that limit you from making those important memories, which is the reason you got your bike in the first place. Take some time out for yourself. If your wife or partner is willing to go with you, have a great day out together. But you got your bike for a purpose, and that is to ride it. Ride it, make memories, live the experience, live life. Go out and enjoy your bike. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. The choice needs to be made today. If you like this kind of thing, give us a like. Also subscribe. Have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next adventure.